Alright guys, this is ZipGoGo. I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Psychic deck that I just built. This is the deck I'm going to be running for this format, or for the rest of the format. I really like this deck. It's not autopilot, you really have to think about your plays, and it's just a really big surprise factor deck, to be honest, because when people see Psychics they don't know what to do really. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing videos about Psychics for the next few weeks, just talking about key cards and what cards you should play and what cards you shouldn't play, different builds. So yeah, let's get started with the deck profile. And I'll go over what they do and why you have them after I show everything. So I run 3 Serene Psychic Witches, 2 Hush Psychic Clerics, 3 Silent Psychic Wizards, 2 Esper Girls, 2 Psychic Commanders. I run 1 Krebons, 1 Psychic Jumper, 2 Time Escapers, Overdrive Teleporter, 2 Effect Failures, 2 Emergency Teleports, 3 Miracle Synchrofusions, 2 Brain Research Labs, 2 Forbidden Lances, 2 MST, 1 Heavy, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Pot of Avarice, Staples, 2 Torrential, 2 Bottomless, a Safe Stone, Starlight Road, Trap Stone, and then for the extract, Magical Android, Naturia Beast, Catastor, Barkion, Psychic Nightmare, Psychic Life Transfer, Scrap Archfiend. I'm going to take that out for Gaia Knight, and I'll tell you why in a second. Ooh, can't really see that. Okay, Black Rose, Thought Ruler, Stardust, that's Hyper Psychic Blaster, and that's Overmind Archfiend, and then Mistworm, and then 2 Ultimate Axon Kickers. Alright, so I'm going to be going over every card now. Alright, Serene Psychic Witch. What this does is when it's destroyed by battle, you're going to be able to search out basically any Psychic monster, and then remove it from play, and then during the next standby phase, special them back. Now what you're going to typically go for is when it's destroyed, you're going to go search for Esper Girl. For Esper Girl's effect, when it's special summoned, when after being removed from play, then you're going to remove from play the top card of your deck face down, and then when Esper Girl leaves the field to the graveyard, when it goes from the field to the graveyard, then you get her effect to add that card to your hand. So basically you're going to be plussing 1. And she's also a level 2 tuner, so that way you're going to be able to synchro summon with her. Yeah, the 2 Hush Psychic Clerics, what they do is, it's basically like Silent Psychic Wizard. I'll do his effect first because it's easier. So when he's summoned, you can banish 1 Psychic type monster from your graveyard, and then when he leaves the field, goes from field to graveyard, then you special summon that monster back. And what's also great about him is that he has 1900 attack. So you can crash into like an Alias or something, and he's actually quite a big beater, to be honest. And then Hush Psychic Cleric's effect. It's the same thing as Silent Psychic Wizard, except you have to discard a card to activate his effect. So let's say you have like an Esper Girl in hand and a Silent Psychic Wizard, or Esper Girl in hand, and then this in the graveyard. What you can do is you can discard, because it says with Hush Psychic Cleric you have to have a target in your graveyard first before you can activate. So you can discard 1 card and then banish Psychic. Well, you don't want to banish him because his effect is useless, unless you have some sort of play that you need. But otherwise, you're going to banish her, or you're going to discard her, and then since she's already in the graveyard, now you can banish her. Or you can banish, yeah, you can banish her. And then you can get her effect when she's special summoned back. So that's what he does. Oh yeah, if you want to know the attacks, 1400 defense, 1200 defense, 1400 attack, 1200 defense. Cleric has 0 attack, 2100 defense, but when he's normal summoned, or flip summoned, he goes straight down to defense position. So you don't have to worry about him having such low attack, because he's never going to be in attack mode. Even when he's special summoned, we're going to go defense mode, obviously. So it's also nice because not a lot of monsters can get over him, because 2100 is actually quite a lot of defense, unless they like Exceed Summon or Synchro Summon, or if fusion summon, but otherwise normal like regular monsters, they're not really gonna be able to get over it. All right, next card. You have Psychic Commander. This is just basically for like a level 3 tuner for emergency teleport. There's not really another reason to run him, but otherwise his effect is when a psychic type monster you control battles during the damage step, you can pay life points in multiples of 100, maximum 500, to have the monsters battling lose that much attack and defense until the end phase. He's actually helped me out in quite a few situations. I've had situations where I'll have like my ultimate Exxon kicker who has 2900 attack. See? 2900 attack. And they'll have like a Elementeer of the Shine in the field that's 3200. I'll summon Psychic Commander and then pay up to 500, and then my Axon Kicker can get over it. So yep, that's what he does. And also the cards I mentioned, so this whole top row so far, they're all Earth monsters. So that's why you have Naturia Beast and Barkion in there. Next card, you have Krebons, just for emergency teleport, and it's so I don't have to use it on an Esper Girl, because if I want to go into like, let's say a Psychic Nightmare, then I don't have to use Esper Girl or to waste my Earth Tuner and waste her effect. Instead, I can use it on Krebons. Also, Krebons is not so bad for stalling out, because you can pay 800 life points to negate attacks. So he's a level 2 Dark Tuner, 1200 attack. Yep. Psychic Jumper. He's a creature swap, and he's actually really, really nice. You have to pay 1000 life points to select one face-up monster your opponent controls and one psychic monster you control, except himself, or except a Psychic Jumper. So you can't do another Psychic Jumper, so that's why you only run one. And switch control of them. So he's a creature swap basically, or no, TG1 EM1, because creature swap you can't choose which one you get from your opponent. He has 100 attack and 1500 defense, which is kind of scary sometimes, because if you don't get his effect off, then you're stuck with a 100 attack guy. But it works well. Like, let's say you have a Krebons and a Psychic Jumper in your hand, or Krebons in the field, Psychic Jumper in your hand, and they have like a huge monster, or you have E-Telly in your hand, because if you don't know what E-Telly is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, you can go E-Telly into him, and then all of a sudden you can trade monsters, and now you got this huge monster like the Shining or Red Eye Arctic Metal Dragon or something like that. So yeah, he's also a level 2 tuner, Earth, good for Barkion Beast. Time Escapers. These are my tech cards. So they're not used for synchro summons or anything like that. They're used to protect your psychic monsters, mainly Overdrive Teleporter and your like psychic synchros. So what he does is you can discard one's face of psychic. You can discard this card, target one face of psychic monster you control, and banish it till your next standby phase. And his effect can be activated on either player's turn. So this way he can have your monsters cheat death basically. Overdrive Teleporter. This is also a reason why I run Time Escaper. He's so explosive. Okay, so he's level 6. He cannot be special summoned, so you're gonna have to tribute summon for him. What you do is you pay 2000 life points to special summon 2 level 3 psychic type monsters from your deck. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. So what happens sometimes, like, the issue with him is that you paid 2000 and then they activate Veiler, then you just lost 2000 life points and now it's you can't activate it again. But with Time Escaper, what you can do is discard Time Escaper after they Veiler, and then his effect is he's off the field. His effect can now resolve, and then you get these 2 level 3s and you can go synchro summon. But if he's on the field still and you let this go off, it's just amazing, because now you're basically going to go for Hush Psychic Cleric and a Psychic Commander, and usually you can have something in your graveyard to have Cleric removed from play, and then you're gonna synchro summon, special summon that monster back, and sync with Teleporter. Usually the plays that happen is that I'll go into Cleric and Commander and with a Esper Girl in graveyard, discard a card to remove from play Esper Girl, and then I'll go synchro summon with Commander and Cleric into my Nightmare, and then I'll special summon back the Esper Girl, and then remove from play the top card of my deck. So I'm going to be plussing 1 in a second. So I'll sync with the Overdrive Teleporter and Esper Girl, and then I can go into my Stardust. So yep, he is really good. And then 2 Veilers, just because they're Veilers, I needed to negate effects. 2 Emergency Teleports, staple to the deck. What it does is special summons 1 level 3 or lower psychic type monster from your hand or deck during the end phase of this turn. That monster removed from play. Well, you don't care if it's removed from play because you're going to synchro summon with it, or you're going to do something with it. So yeah, he will speed up this deck a lot. Next card, Miracle Synchro Fusion. This card is actually amazing because it's MST bait, for one. So what it does is that, well, here, I'll tell you what it does first. Basically, it's going to get out Ultimate Axon Kicker. So what you do is you move from play from your side of the field. So it's like a Miracle Fusion, but it's only, you move from play a Psychic Synchro, it's like that, Nightmare, or like those guys, something like that. And then 1 Psychic monster, so like a Silent Psychic Wizard, or something like that. And then you get Ultimate Axon Kicker, and I'll get to him later. But he's the boss monster of the deck. And even if you get him out, this card is not dead, because you can set it as MST bait. Because when it gets MST'd or destroyed by your opponent's card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you get to draw 1 card. So it's really nice if your opponent Gemini Sparks it or Insectors destroy it, you still get to draw 1 card. So yeah, that's great. Brain Research Lab. Okay, I like to run this because it's basically like a double summon, but you have to put a counter on it. So basically, double summon, you put 1 counter on it. Instead of paying life points for Psychic Monster's effects, you can put a counter on it. So let's say instead of paying 2,000, I'm gonna put a counter on this card. Downside is that when it's destroyed, then you or not when it's destroyed, it's when this card is removed from the field. So like as soon as this card leaves the field, then you take 1,000 damage for each counter on it. So that can be a downside. So, but it's good like if you want to pay 2,000 instead of paying 2,000, you're basically gonna be paying like 1,000. Or if you have 1,000 life points and you need to get this play off with Overdrive Teleporter, you can put a counter on this instead and just go off on them. Or if like you need to, or if you got like 700 life points you need to negate with Krebons, instead you can put a counter on this. Or if you need to switch monsters, you can use Psychic Jumper effect to switch monsters and then put a counter on this instead of paying life points. So it's basically, you need to be careful with this card just because this format does have 3 MST and Heavy Storm, and now there's Insectors and Gemini Spark with heroes out there. So you need to be careful with this card because you need to know when to play it and when to stop putting counters on it. You need to manage your life points. This is the big part of the deck. You need to manage your life points because if you don't, you will lose. Alright. Forbidden Lance, it just protects my Psychic Monsters from spells and traps. MSTs, to get rid of back row, so then I can, yeah, just get rid of back row. You know what they do. Heavy Storm, Dark Old, Monster Reborn, Pot of Avarice staple. Pot of Avarice is really nice because I synchro summon like crazy with this deck, and then I need to get cards back. Double Torrential, double Bottomless. The only reason why I don't run the Solemn Warnings because you're gonna pay a lot of life points with this deck, and sometimes it can screw you over. At least that's what I found when I play it. So I don't run Solemn Warnings. It's just a personal preference because I just find myself running low on life points, and if I don't get my synchro monsters out that can regain life points, then it becomes an issue. But otherwise, I got Safe Zone. This can protect my monsters, and it can. This card is actually really nice. I might run 2 if I can get another one and take out the Starlight Road. Otherwise, Safe Zone is just good. You can use it to protect Ultimate Accent Kicker, your big guy, or any of these